Transfer deadline day has come and gone, and it has been a top transfer window for many clubs. But how have Chelsea done? How have Chelsea done on this deadline day? How have they done throughout the transfer window? And also, where will they finish this season? These are all questions that I want to answer and I want to give my opinion on. So let's get right into it. Deadline day. This was quite eventful, but at the same time, we didn't get the events that we really wanted. We had the whole Jackson drama. What was it, two nights ago or last night? I can't even remember. Whenever I put out that Jackson video. But that was crazy where he was on the plane to Munich and then Chelsea were like, hello, can you come back? And then his representative was just like, nah, the plane does not fly backwards. I'm sorry, we're staying here in Munich. Jackson refused to come back to London. And look, rightly so. I would have done the same thing if I were in his position. Like, I would have not gone back. So I completely understand Jackson. And he stayed in Munich. And in the end, Chelsea decided they're not going to call Jackson back. They're going to allow his loan to go ahead. But instead, they recalled Mark Q from Sunderland. And this allowed Jackson to get his move to Bayern Munich, which, by the way, the second time, as negotiations started back up again, Chelsea got 70 million for this. It's like a 14 million pound loan fee, and the remaining is paid as an obligation to buy. However, there is news that he has to play a certain number of games for that obligation to be triggered. I don't think, as Bayern Munich's second choice striker, I don't think they'll make him play that many games and they'll just send him back. But oh well, if it happens, then great. Money coming in. Money comes in for Chelsea, which is fantastic. Also on this deadline day, we got Chilwell getting sold to Strasbourg, which is brilliant. Like, he's needed a move. He needed a move out of the club because he was just sitting there doing nothing. He spent last season at Palace on loan, but now he was back, and then there's no way he's getting integrated into Enzo Maresca's squad. So Chelsea got him sold to Strasbourg. It's like a 2-year contract over there. Really, all the best to him. And of course, it was Strasbourg. Like, hey, is there any player that we don't really want? Well, that's Chelsea's like B club, you know. That's their development squad. I am then surprised, like, why did they not send Sterling to Strasbourg? Because Sterling stays. Sterling is staying at Chelsea and he's doing nothing. The guy is not in the squad. The guy is getting paid like 300 grand a week for doing nothing. He just shows up to training, kicks the ball about, bam, done. 300k in the bank account. I'm out of here. It would have been nice to get him a move to Strasbourg, but then again, it would have been complicated because Chelsea didn't have any more loan spots left after the Jackson loan. And selling him to Strasbourg whilst keeping the same salary would have just been horrible for the Strasbourg books. So maybe that might have not been feasible. But he needed to play football. Just get him a loan somewhere. It was important. It was imperative to get him a loan just somewhere so he can play football and at least, you know, get his value up on the market so that he actually gets demand. But Sterling stays, so let's see what happens. Also, this deadline day, Buonanotte, Mr. Goodnight, has signed. He's on loan from Brighton for the season, so let's see how he performs. I think it's a good move. I think that it provides some very good depth. So we'll see how this move goes. And finally, Garnacho signs. I have a very split opinion on Garnacho. Is it Manchester United or is it him? Like, you know, the United fans were saying that he has an attitude problem, he's going to kick about a fuss. But Manchester United as an institution are a complete mess. And then everyone who leaves Manchester United seems to find a better life elsewhere. Anthony was playing better, McTominay was playing better. All of these guys, they were all of a sudden they were playing better as they left Manchester United. I'd like to think that's the same thing that happens with Garnacho, but you never know. Maybe it really is his attitude problem or whatever the United fans were saying. I hope that we don't get any drama, So let's see how he performs. It's important to give the opportunity. I just hope it does not turn out like Sancho, because Sancho, this Mr. Freedom Fighter, that guy left United on loan, came to Chelsea, didn't really light up the place. He looked better than he did at United, but it wasn't enough for Chelsea to want to keep him. In fact, they paid United to send him back. Garnacho is here on a permanent transfer, so although you know what, no, it's not that bad. Look, if he flops, Chelsea will just sell him to Arsenal in 2 years for like 60 million. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. Arsenal just sometimes they give us their best players and we give them expired product. Overall, I was expecting maybe to get a new centre back, maybe to get a new striker for to compensate for Liam Delap's injury. We just never got it. We just got nothing. So I'm a bit worried. I think the transfer business that Chelsea has done is enough to get top four. But to be competitive in the Champions League, the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, I don't think they have done enough, especially when it comes to getting a new goalkeeper, getting a centre back, getting a new striker. I think Chelsea will struggle, and especially since they haven't had much rest, I think by the time we get to Christmas, legs are going to start going. I think we will see Chelsea decline slowly, and so it's important that they get as many points as they can right now, because I think after Christmas there will be a period where they will just drop off, and that's why I think they will finish fourth eventually. So here are all 6 of Chelsea's signings: João Pedro, Jamie Gittins, Liam Delap, Alejandro Garnacho, Yoel Hato, and Facundo Buonanotte. These guys, 6 of them all cost £208 million. Whereas when I saw this is crazy. Like, the amount of outgoings from Chelsea this summer has been a lot. And it's good. Like, this is a massive club clear out. So it's a step in the right direction. But yeah, in the end, Chelsea have gotten about £326 million from all of these player sales. And if obligations are met, it will be £373.5 million. Overall, I think Chelsea have done alright this transfer window. But I don't think it's enough to, let's say, be in the title race. I don't think it's enough to go extremely far in the Champions League. Maybe the quarterfinal and then Chelsea get knocked out. But you never know. And I think maybe they will walk away with one cup trophy. I think they will reach the final in one of the cups and win it. But yeah, those are my predictions for the season. I think it's rather pessimistic compared to a lot of other Chelsea fans. But for me, I believe that's realistic because other clubs, particularly Liverpool, Man City and Arsenal, especially like Liverpool, they have done some seriously good business, and I think those will be the top 3 for the season. And Chelsea can be there. Chelsea can fight for the title, they can, but I don't think the signings that were made were enough, and I don't think that the squad has the energy, the legs to go through the entire season at the very highest level that they can be, just solely down to fitness. So those are my thoughts on deadline day, Chelsea's transfer window, and their chances this season. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments below.